Warning, this podcast contains themes of extreme violence and murder. Subject matter may be offensive to some listeners. Discretion advised.
Welcome to another episode of Evil Transgression, your homicide headquarters here in podcasting. I'm Josh, and with me as always, Dustin and Rex.
What's going on?
Hey, what's up?
Every now and then you gotta add a little anticipation.
Oh, yeah.
I was just waiting for your song.
Which song is that?
The one he just made up.
The Alec Baldwin song?
Yes.
You're burning in hell. How's it go?
You're the director. Who are you casting? Alec Baldwin coming out blasting.
Wow.
A little freestyle
I
action.
love it. I'm about to put a beat to it.
I hate you.
You don't. You love me. Do you love me? Tell me. I'm old Greg.
So what y'all been up to?
Well, they're finally done with the basement.
Oh.
So, I mean, there's a couple punch list items, but I'd say it'd probably take a couple of weeks to get. I got to hang up sound panels and then move all this crap down there. So it's a process. But yeah, I'm hoping in a couple of weeks we can start recording down there.
Sweet.
Yep. And I finally got over that sinus infection. That was terrible, man. That was like 2 weeks.
You still sound a little congested.
Yeah. But I mean, nothing like what it was.
No. But you still sound like this.
That's just my natural voice.
Natural man voice.
It's like his scary movie voice. Phone rings. Hello.
Hello.
This is Rex.
What about you?
Me?
Yeah.
Man, hey, killing and dealing, baby.
Nice.
Not really. I haven't done anything.
Just working, huh?
Yeah. Well, I had a conference last week for work. It's pretty fun because I like to do people watching. I'm pretty sure I saw Captain Kangaroo at this conference. Then they had a gender identity class at this conference. I did not attend. However,
Found out you was a man, huh?
buddy, the teacher there that was teaching that class was a special individual.
Oh, really?
It's not my thing, but wow.
Huh.
How about you?
Oh, you know, just got back from a trip.
You're always on vacation.
I went up to Maine. Check out the scenery. By the way, the leaves are already changed up there.
Well, they're changing.
Yeah,
here
it does
too.
get
No, it's like
colder up there quicker.
way different up there. And the cool thing
I'm
was
looking out the window right now at red leaves.
no. So the cool thing was when we pulled into Maine, the first sign I seen said, "Watch out for moose on roadway." I was like, no
Really?
shit.
Wow.
Did you see any?
No.
So they had moose
Not a
crossing
single.
signs?
Yeah. So I saw not a single meese.
No. And I was mad. Like, I wanted to see one, like from afar, like I didn't want to hit it.
From afar. You'd have known if you'd have hit it.
Yeah.
We all would have known.
But that's about all I've been doing.
And how do they talk up there?
A little weird.
Yeah.
A little different.
They say the same thing about us
But we don't talk weird.
because we hear ourselves all the time.
But again, like we were talking before, some people think that we have like a hillbilly accent, and to me, like Tennessee, Kentucky,
Yeah.
that twangy, that accent, that to me, that's hillbilly.
Yeah.
I don't know if hillbilly would be the correct term for that, but
We just
What
talk
would you call it?
Midwestern.
Southern.
Well, to me, Southern is more like Georgia.
I was just trying to be PC.
Like Alabama.
Oh, okay.
He was like, damn hill jacks down there.
There's nothing PC about what I say. So
So, up in Maine, did you stay in the harbor? You like?
No, but I went to the Portland Headlight, which is a big old
We like to call them lighthouses.
lighthouse.
Yeah.
But it was pretty cool.
Do you have some blue crab?
No, I didn't eat no crab. I don't eat only seafood.
Oh man, you're missing out.
Give me chicken.
Chicken of the sea.
Chicken and meat.
Chicken and meat.
Yeah, do you have some meat up there?
No.
Yeah.
Some moose jerky. They have moose jerky?
I think they do.
I'd like to have some moose jerky.
Like, you know,
I'd eat anything jerky.
I bet you would.
I would. Turkey jerky, giraffe jerky, gator jerky.
Jerky.
well, isn't it? I don't know if they still do, but on the fairgrounds, they used to. I'm pretty sure I went with my dad years ago, where you had all those different types of jerky you could try out. Like they called it exotic jerky.
Yeah, they have a store in JC
Oh, really?
that is like
Tommy's Jerky.
that has like all kinds of different ones.
I'm gonna check it out.
You also have to cut off your left testicle to order to pay for anything.
Oh,
I
it's
know
expensive,
it's
huh?
expensive, but they got like buffalo, zebra.
What?
But they totally don't have zebra.
They might. You never know.
No,
Huh.
I'm
How do you know?
sure because no one kills a zebra.
What's it off of?
Pretty sure it's like
Broadway.
Oh, okay.
an endangered species.
Yeah, whatever.
It's probably not.
It's not at
It's
all.
not. But it sounded good. I have a new segment.
Really?
Yeah. I figure it would be kind of fun to throw out some random facts about our serial killers.
Okay.
Okay.
So it needs a name.
Evil facts.
Evil facts.
Yeah.
Let's start with John Wayne Gacy. We all know John Wayne Gacy, the
Right.
killer clown,
Right.
Yep.
right? Fact, there were so many bodies crammed underneath the house in the crawl space, the bodies melted together and the bones had to be sorted for more than 2 years.
Oh man, that is nasty.
That's gross.
That is gross. Or how about Ed Gein? You guys know who Ed Gein is?
Yep.
Ed Gein. Yep.
His house was in complete disarray, just absolutely nasty.
Uh-huh.
Right? We've all heard they found the lampshade, the skin lampshade,
yeah.
right?
Yep.
You've heard about the woman's suit he was building,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Out of skin.
Mm-hmm.
But did you know that he had a bag of wilted vaginas?
What?
Yeah.
He just had a sack of giants.
Sack
Wow.
of vaginas.
Oh man, that's so twisted.
That's weird.
Yeah.
So those are some quick fun facts for you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, you learned a little something.
I did.
What are you going to learn us today?
Today, I'm going to learn you. A story about a fella named Doyle Hamm.
O'Doyle?
Just Doyle, but O'Doyle rules.
They do.
Yeah, Doyle is an interesting story. Not so much for his crime, but for his punishment. And you'll see exactly what I mean here
Can't wait.
in this episode. So buckle up, Evil Mob, as we discuss Doyle Hamm. Doyle Hamm was born on Valentine's Day, February 14th, 1957, in good old Northwest Alabama. He was the 10th of 12 children in the Hamm family.
Wow.
12 kids?
He was 10 of 12.
That's a lot.
Jesus. Can you imagine that?
No, I don't want to imagine that.
I got 2, and that's too many.
The Hamm family was something special. Home life was described as a constant hell. Growing up, Doyle struggled in school, and by the time he was in 5th grade, he was still reading at a 1st grade level.
Oh, that's bad.
Let's just say that Doyle has some mental yeah,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah.
His mental issues.
No, we don't. Can you explain it?
Some incapacities.
There you go.
That's the word I was
That's
trying
not
to
good.
say.
1st grade and 5th grade?
Yeah.
It's not good at all.
Well, we'll dive into that a little bit later on of what really is going on in Doyle's brain. But let's just say, yeah, 5th grade, reading C-Spot Run is not good.
No.
So he wasn't the smartest kid in the class. But what the Hamms lacked in education, they made up for in criminal activity. Doyle's father and each of his 6 older brothers spent time in jail while he was growing up. The family's motto was, quote, "If you don't go out and steal, then you're not a ham."
What?
What kind of white trash motto is that?
It's probably like on a nice wooden placard in their living room. Like, you don't go out and steal, you ain't a ham. Go get daddy a pack of smokes. Go down to the store and steal his Marlboros.
Oh, man.
But they lived by that motto. Doyle Hamm dropped out of school in the 9th grade, which is a miracle that he even made it that far in the education system, to me.
Oh, yeah.
After he dropped out, he started to abuse drugs and alcohol. What can go wrong here? When Doyle Hamm was 20 years old, he was arrested after a fight in a bar parking lot. Hamm was charged with robbery for the incident, and after entering a guilty plea, he received a 5-year prison sentence. Years later, the victim would confess there was actually no robbery. Hamm's own court-appointed attorney even admitted that he was, quote, too busy and overworked to give this case the time and attention it needed.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that's your first screwing over by the justice system.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Hope I never get that attorney.
No kidding.
I'm too busy. Yeah, guilty.
Guilty.
But again, we're dealing with a young man with a low IQ,
Right.
and clearly has some issues upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to get any better. But Doyle Hamm made up for that wrongful arrest by committing several other crimes such as burglary, assault, and even grand larceny.
Oh, nice.
So he may have got screwed over once, but he got his money's worth on the rest of them.
I guess so.
On January 24th, 1987, Doyle Hamm took his criminal behavior to the next level. After committing a robbery earlier in the day that scored him a .38 caliber handgun in Mississippi, he traveled to Cullman, Alabama. In Cullman, Hamm went to the Anderson Motel where nighttime clerk Patrick Cunningham was working in the office. Doyle Hamm shot Cunningham once in the temple with the stolen .38 and took $350 from the motel's cash register and another $60 from Cunningham's wallet. Now, the bad news is there was a woman that witnessed it.
Oh.
She was in her car because Doyle came in and was acting a fool, and the night manager was like, no, you got to have a reservation, blah, blah, blah. You can't come here. So he makes him leave. When he leaves, Patrick Cunningham tells this lady, like, I have a feeling there's going to be problems, so you need to go. So she goes and gets in her car, and about that time, Doyle Hamm comes back and kills him. So she's the witness.
Wow.
Dang.
The following day, January 25th, 1987, Doyle Hamm was arrested in Cullman and charged with capital murder. Dustin, tell people what capital murder means.
It means you're eligible for the death penalty.
Ooh.
Nice.
And you can only get capital murder while committing a crime. Or basically a felony while committing another felony.
Felony on top of felony.
Yes.
2 individuals who claimed to be witnesses to the crime identified Hamm as the gunman during the robbery, but soon recanted their testimony. They were later charged as co-defendants, but took deals to testify as state witnesses. So, Doyle had him some accomplices that turned coat on him. Hamm confessed to the robbery during his own interrogation. At Doyle's trial, his lawyers only presented 19 minutes of mitigating evidence to the jury. 19 minutes.
That's it?
That's it.
It's pretty quick.
He's some shit-ass attorney.
He's got bad luck with attorneys. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And this is even though they had access to medical and educational records that may have convinced the jurors that Doyle Hamm may have had brain damage or an intellectual disability. None of those things were presented.
Now, we're a little off subject, not off subject, but whenever this episode's over, can you give me the names of these guys so I can put them up there? And you do not want them?
You do not want these attorneys?
No, you do not want them.
Right.
If you're in Alabama, which I don't know why you would be, but that's for another day.
They didn't even present the fact that Doyle Hamm suffered from fetal alcohol syndrome and only had an IQ of 66.
I want to know what they went up there and actually said.
This is Doyle. He didn't mean it. I got a lunch date in about 30 minutes, and I really want to get out of here, Judge.
Oh, man.
But remember, I said there was more going on as a young child with him.
Right.
Fetal alcohol syndrome. Mommy was drinking.
That's not good.
I mean, she did have 10 kids. You know, he was the 10th of 12, so I imagine she probably was drinking.
Yeah.
And you said his IQ was 66?
IQ of 66.
Isn't it once you hit like 72,
It's
you're considered having a disability?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, man.
The fact the defense attorneys never presented any of these things were the basis of several appeals for Hamm's conviction. In June of 1999, 12 years after Hamm's conviction, an appeal was shot down by a judge in less than a single business day. To put that into perspective, the appeal was an 89-page document. So there's no way the judge even took the time to read the entire appeal. If it's 89 pages, and he had it back to, like, they turned it in on a Friday, and then that Monday, he signs it like, nope, sends it back. The judge didn't even read it.
Nope.
Like, he sent it back the way it came.
Right.
During the same appeal, the court ordered a change in counsel for Hamm, and the new attorney only called one witness to testify in defense.
Alabama has the worst attorneys.
And even though there was an expert psychologist or a mitigation psychologist who was prepared to testify about Doyle Hamm's brain damage, neither were called to the stand. Yet again.
I thought mitigation was when you got like water in your basement and needs cleaned out.
Could be.
I swear. I think
water mitigation.
Well, yeah. I don't even know where that came from, but
who brought this guy?
Doyle Hamm remained on death row. I mean, he's had some pretty bad luck with the justice system.
I feel like
this guy did kill somebody in cold blood.
Right, but I feel like these attorneys like are full-time like gas station clerks and like part-time attorneys. They just,
they
just get a call.
He like comes in, he's got to take off his coveralls. He's got those greasy coveralls with the rag hanging out of the back pocket. His hands is greasy. Takes it off and he's got like a thrift store suit on and a briefcase.
These are like
there's nothing in the briefcase. He just has a briefcase just so he looks like an attorney.
These are like the prison lawyers.
Like, Cooter, they need you down at the courthouse again.
Got one of those.
Well, dang it. Do me a favor and finish putting these spark plugs in this 58 Ford. They stroll into the courtroom. Hey, Cooter. Everybody knows him.
Cooter.
Yeah, it's, but I mean, again, the guy did kill somebody in cold blood. Now,
right.
He clearly has a mental handicap. But you did commit a murder.
Yep.
But at the same time, dude, as an American, do we not believe in, your rights, your
because
inalienable rights?
We've done stories on people that have gone to the psych ward for far less.
Yeah.
I
mean, but to me, it would be different if you had. I mean, if you're going through the actual procedures of court the proper way, like they're actually calling witnesses like, hey, he had fetal alcohol syndrome and his IQ is only 66. You're going through all that, and then they convict you because the jury's the final say, right?
Right.
Yep.
But if you're going through the procedures correctly, nobody can say anything. But when you got a guy that's like, I really got someplace to be. We don't really have. We'll call up one witness. Steve was over there getting a Snickers bar at the carryout.
Yeah.
We don't think that he meant to do it. You know what I mean? Like, they just botched it in terms of not putting forth an effort.
Right.
Yep.
And that only causes problems with appeals and stuff like that. You're going to keep getting appeals because he's not getting his due process. In February of 2014, Doyle Hamm was diagnosed with lymphatic and cranial cancer. By 2017, Hamm's body was ravaged by cancerous tumors and numerous abnormal lymph nodes. In September of 2017, when an anesthesiologist came to visit Hamm for a medical examination, he was actually prohibited from bringing in his medical equipment past the security, and the doctor was forced to use Hamm's lawyer's tie as a tourniquet.
What?
Yeah, they're like, no rights for this dude whatsoever. Oh, he's getting ate up by cancer, and he's, you know what I mean? The doctor needs to see him, but can't take none of your doctor stuff in.
Yeah, just grab this tie.
Surprised that they even let the lawyer in with the tie. Like, nope, can't have that.
No kidding.
On December 13th, 2017, a surgery that was scheduled to remove a cancerous lesion on Doyle Hamm's cheek that was eating through the bone and tissue was canceled after his death warrant was signed for him to die a few months later. They're like, we're not going to waste the time on any medical treatments for you, Doyle. We're going to kill you. In addition to cancer, Hamm suffered from hepatitis C and had a history of intravenous drug use that made it more difficult to access his veins.
Jesus.
On January 31st, 2018, Hamm was issued a stay of execution by Chief Judge Karen Bowdry, stating that Doyle Hamm had shown a likelihood he would suffer irreparable damage if they tried to put him to death by lethal injection. So she's like, you ain't gonna kill him, but you'll give him irreparable injury.
Wow.
On February 13th, 2018, the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals vacated the stay of execution and brought in an independent medical examiner that stated Doyle Hamm's arms and hands were unusable, but his lower extremities were. Many people objected to Doyle Hamm's execution, including human rights experts from the United Nations. Several political figures tried to get Alabama Governor Kay Ivey to halt the execution as well. On February 22nd, correctional officers spent 2.5 hours inserting needles into Hamm's legs and ankles, trying to get access to his veins.
Wow.
The execution team turned Hamm on his stomach and slapped the back of his legs in an attempt to find a usable vein.
That's crazy.
When that failed, members of the execution team began inserting needles into Hamm's groin in the hopes of finding a vein there.
Oh, man.
During this process, Hamm was stabbed a half dozen times, with the needles puncturing his bladder and penetrating his femoral artery.
Dang.
Oh, that's painful.
A large amount of blood accumulated around Hamm's groin, soaking through the pad he was lying on and requiring the execution team to replace it. When the execution was finally called off, Hamm collapsed as he was removed from the gurney. During a visit with his defense counsel the following day, Hamm was limping and sore and was described by his attorney as, quote, a shadow of himself.
Yeah. You lose blood like that. And,
Right.
whew.
Hamm was only the third person in the United States since 1946 to walk out of the execution chamber still alive. Now, he because of all the jabs and all the stabs and all that stuff that they done to him, this dude pissed blood like for several days after this execution. I mean, they just stabbed him up. They would have been better off if they'd have just shot him. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, in one point during this, I don't even want to call it an execution. It was more of like a torturing.
Right.
He actually is begging for death. Like, please just kill me. Just,
Wow.
And that's how much pain this guy was in during this. And because of how bad this execution went, like the civil rights lawsuits and all kinds of stuff start coming after this.
Oh, I bet.
I mean, it was, you violated his amendments and his, cruel and inhumane attempts at murder at execution. I was going to call it a murder, but that's what he did.
Right.
But I mean, it kind of puts you in a mind of, do you feel bad for the guy? I mean, he did kill somebody in cold blood.
Right. That's the thing.
But he also has, I don't want to call it an excuse,
Yeah.
but he has issues that were never presented to a court.
Right.
They were never taken into factor. And then, everybody's like, hey, you can't put him to death because, that way in death won't work. You know what would have worked? The electric chair. Hanging.
Yeah.
Send him to the gallows.
Yeah.
Don't have to worry about it.
But Alabama, they was like, we're just going to stab you a couple hundred times.
Yeah, it's brutal.
I don't know. I'm kind of both ways. Like, I kind of feel bad for him, but then again, I don't. Because you did kill somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wasn't given a fair shake, I can tell you that, with the legal justice system.
Well, because of this botched execution and how badly it went, his attorneys finally did something right and appealed to the 11th Circuit Court, saying that, look, it is not possible for you to try and put him to death the second time. It violates his rights, and he went through what he went through because you guys didn't listen. And they actually, the 11th Court actually sided with him and saying, we'll take that into consideration, and they dropped the death warrant.
Wow.
So my question to you is, if you're sentenced to death and you live throughout your execution, does that mean that you can't try you twice, right?
Basically.
That means you get to go home.
I don't think that's the case every time, but when you screw it up badly like that, it gives your lawyers ground to stand on. He finally got one that wasn't in the yellow pages that actually did something good for him. But I'm sure, Patrick Cunningham's family was like, hey, stab him again.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
But that is the end of his saga.
Yeah.
He now is no longer on death row. He's just in prison. He's still alive.
Wow.
Ate up with cancer.
He's lived for a while. I mean, that was, 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Yep.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, the reason that this case stuck out to me was it puts you in a weird position to where, like we've been doing this whole episode of weighing, this guy went through all this bad stuff. He had bad attorneys. He had, bad trials, and the justice system kind of stuck it to him. I mean, even his first case of being put in prison for 5 years for a robbery that he never committed.
Yeah.
That he admitted to, because clearly the guy has an IQ of 66
Right.
and has other issues mentally. He got ran through the ringer on that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're a murderer.
Yep.
Put you in a weird spot.
It does.
What side?
does.
What side of the fence do you go on here?
I don't know. I gave my opinion.
Which is
Rex, what do you think? I think that I mean, I don't know. I can, like I said, I can see it both ways. Like, you kind of feel bad for him because he didn't get, he is slow and he didn't get, the help he needed. And they tried to stab him multiple times and didn't work. But then again, he also killed somebody.
Yeah.
So you're like,
What do you think, buddy?
Yeah, I blame his mom for a lot of this. I just wonder if things would have turned out different had she not been drinking the entire time she was pregnant with him.
right.
That had to have done some damage.
Oh yeah.
So,
But the Hamm family motto, guys, never forget. If you ain't stealing, you ain't a ham. But the one thing I want you guys to take from this episode is just imagine getting stabbed in your groin with a needle several times to where you're bleeding, bleeding so bad that you soak up a pad that's sitting underneath you.
No thanks. I'll pass.
Think about that tonight when you're laying down in bed. You're all cozy, getting ready to go to sleep, and just imagine a needle hitting you
Just
right in the groin.
grab your groin and pinch it.
yeah.
And they nicked the femoral artery doing that.
Right.
Like, he was going deep. He was going deep with that needle.
Yeah, it was.
Deep in the groin. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the story of Doyle Hamm. What you got for me, Rex?
All right. Go to our Facebook page. Give us a like. Any comments, questions, ideas, you can email us at eviltransgression@gmail.com. You can also find that where, Dustin?
On eviltransgression.com. And you can leave us reviews. Oh, yeah, leave us reviews. We need a bunch of those on Apple.
We have been getting more.
We have. So go over to Apple, check us out. Also, we have hats.
Finally.
We finally have hats.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to hear Josh bitch. We finally have the hats. So I'm going to be setting up a pre-order for them. So
Pre-order your hats today.
So when you see it, it'll be on the Facebook page and probably on Twitter if you follow us on Twitter. But I'll have it set up and then just follow the link and boom.
Twitter, twatter.
Sounds good.
So what do you got, Josh?
What do I got? I got 2 turntables and a microphone. Where it's at. You remember that?
It's an oldie.
You got anything that relates to this podcast?
You ever notice,
think
like,
he does.
we'll have fun, and Dustin's always like,
no.
enough.
Straight to the point.
Oh my God, I need a sandwich. Would you guys shut up?
It's getting so weird.
Oh, it's so weird in here. It's hot in this corner. Well, if you didn't wear like 9 coats.
Yeah, no kidding.
Shut up.
What do I have that relates to this podcast? Man, I just want to say how much I love the Evil Mob
Me too.
and their amazing support. Go ahead and check us out. We are featured right now. Yeah, that's right. Your boys are featured on Podbean, main page under featured.
Yes.
About time.
Right.
A little bit of recognition. We'd like a ton more.
A little bit.
Yep.
If Dustin would stop talking trash about Apple, they might do something with us. But when he cusses them out every day on Twitter,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's a guy at Apple that's like got a poster up of us. Like, whatever you do, never do anything for these guys. So,
Right.
but hey, big shout out to the Evil Mob. They're the best.
You're right.
And with that being said,
See ya.
See ya.
peace.